Welcome again, and thank you for joining us today in another edition of Ali Tech Talks. Today we have a very special topic to talk about. It's on technology services. How do we deliver, our technology? How do we deliver to our customers? And some of the things that happens with it is we needed to do with projects. So today with me I have here, please, Everett.
My name is Everett Campos. I'm Portfolio Management Officer for Ali Global.
So Everett and we're going to be talking a little bit about, how do we manage PMO, but he's the expert. I will let him do the talk here. So let's get started. All right. So tell us about project management, because everybody kind of talked about, they think it's a very easy task, but actually from a technology services perspective, when you have to deliver things, you have to deliver stuff for our customers. There has to be a very, very methodology. I don't know if methodology to use, or that's the right word, or is this really strict discipline that we talked about, but we have to deliver. So what is this project management thing that we do here in technology services?
Well, actually, project management has been changing over the past 10 years, I would say. Nowadays, project management is something more specific about what we do in order to deliver value to the organizations, right? Probably 15 years ago, 20 years ago, a lot of people were doing some kind of project management, but basically it was just managing Microsoft project, creating Gantt charts or something like that, right? But project management is more than that, right? So in the past 10 years, I think that the intention is that the PMO is trying to connect the strategy from the organizations to the reality, right? So implementing ideas and make them the reality on the organizations, right? So I think that's the value, right? Trying to connect strategy ideas with reality and projects that are being executed and implemented successfully, right?
So it's, from the technology services, since we're very strong through your leadership on the PMO, we do the benefits and portfolio management for our customers as well as internal to BPS and the other rest of the company. Is that correct? Is that stuff that we do?
That's correct. I mean, there are some kind of projects that initially we begin with the business case, statement of work, as the documents are needed in order to start with a project, right? And in the business case, for example, you determine which are the benefits that you're going to achieve in 1 year, 2 years, what is the return of investment, and other indexes. So what the project management do is we take that approach, that idea, we create all the plans which are to implement the project. But the benefit realization is something important, right? Because the organizations needs to make sure that the investment that we are doing from the day of zero are going to be implemented in the right way in order to get the benefits in some later periods, right? So what the PMO do is we implement, but not just that. We implement and then we follow up on that project, and we are making sure that the expected benefits are going to be achieved in the right time for the organization.
Which not only for the organization, but I guess it becomes like and correct me if I'm saying something stupid here, hope not, but it is like a seal of warranty, right? Where you know that when the customers, internal or external customers, are asking for something for us to deliver, which is a project technology based or something like we do on the call center side, it gets delivered. So is that discipline is being seen by our customers in terms of, if we don't have a PMO, and the way that we manage projects, we don't deliver? Is that how you see it? And the customer has said that to us? I do believe I have seen that.
Yeah, absolutely. Currently, nowadays, around 95% of the organizations, small, medium and big organizations, they have PMOs, right? And why is that? Is because what the PMO do is to make sure that we are doing the right implementation, right? What happens if you don't have a PMO? Then you will have different areas implementing different projects, right? But what happened in the reality, let's say that you have your IT department. The IT department is trying to resolve incident management, problem management, change management, and daily support, right? Plus, they are working on different projects, right? So what happens is that the IT department is not focused directly only in delivering projects. They are focusing on technology and security, networking,
Correct.
database,
I agree.
and other stuffs, right? So you need to have a role that is specifically thinking about how you are going to coordinate the activities, right? How you are going to deliver the project, right? And that's the benefit, because you will have people with knowledge in project management, with technical knowledge in project management, such as Scrum or the different standards that PMI offers. You will have people with soft skills, that's very important.
Correct.
And you will have people with good performance trying to implement that kind of projects to the organizations, right? So it's more the efforts that the organization will do is more focused on the planning, implementation on the projects, right? But you will let the IT department focus on the IT stuffs, right? Not coordinating meetings, not thinking about budget, not thinking about other important stuffs on the project, right? So that's the benefit, I think.
Yeah, it's and I agree, because people have a tendency to think that this is very trivial, that anybody can do this without a formal, years of experience, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot of studies, and it takes a lot of well thought. In fact, it's becoming a master's degree program in a way to do
PhD also, right?
PhD makes a lot of sense, because I'm guessing for the portfolio management perspective, you really need to know what the benefits of the company is. How do you manage those projects and programs, if I'm not mistaken, to deliver those benefits? Now, in terms of our customers, when they see that we have a counterpart, right? They feel comfortable, because for what I see, and is they agree that if somebody is looking at it, their resources that are fully dedicated to deliver technology, they don't have to manage how things are moving, and that's what the PMO comes in, right?
Right. I mean, with let's say that we have a project without a project manager or without any role that is related to project management, we see a lot of difference on the quality of the project, right? We see a lot of issues regarding, for example, risk management, procurement, cost management, right? So I believe that our clients, when we are implementing projects and they see that we have the structure of PMO, they rely on us, right? Because we are constantly thinking about our customers. We are thinking about what kind of projects we are going to deliver reports, right? What is very important is the stakeholder management, which is something that sometimes is we forget on the projects, right? But with these kind of best practices, we are making sure that we are going to satisfy the needs of our clients.
That's fantastic, and I'm guessing from the methodology perspective, because there are many methodologies or framework that has been given to us as a practitioner. Do you have a tendency that you lean more towards one to the other, and tell us what kind of methodology is out there? Because it becomes like a fighting every time that we talk about this, right? But I guess everything has their place. And tell us, how many or what's the diversity of methodologies we use across the board here on technology services?
Yes, I believe that the Scrum has been, growing over the past decade or more, right? However, the project management practices, they have started around the 60s, and they have started more in the construction area, right? And that's why a lot of standards that we have are designed in order to have a predictive projects, right? And when I say predictive projects, is those projects where we understand the scope, we know what needs to be delivered. The client understand what they need, right? So we have all the material in order to create upfront planning on the project, right? And that was I would say the what the probably early 2010 we were thinking, or we were talking more about predictive projects, right? The reality is that not all the projects should be managed in that way, right? You will have some projects that you don't have the scope in front, right? You will need to discover the scope in the way that you are progressing on your project, right? So the reality is that there is no one specific tool in order to manage every project, right? You will have different tools, and I think that that's the current behavior of the project manager, right? And as you said before, some time ago, a lot of project managers doing project management, they were thinking that they were PMs just because they were using Microsoft Project, right?
Just getting on the calendar and the schedule out there, which
Yeah.
is very little of what it is.
Or they knew what is the Gantt chart or the network diagram or something like that, but project management is much more than that, right? So I think that now a good PMO or a good PM's skills, it's the one that understand that every project is unique and you don't need to manage in the same way every project, right? So what we have done in our global is that we have a methodology for predictive projects based on the PMI standards.
Okay.
For example, the PMBOK, the Program Management Standard, Portfolio Management Standard, but also we have adopted the Scrum framework and we have created our own methodology based on the Scrum, right? So what we do on the initiation stage of the project is understand what is this project, right? What is the environmental factors that are assigned or are in the project, right? And then the project managers decide, right? Okay, we have enough scope, we have enough information about the project, and we understand what the client needs, the client understand what they need, then we are going to choose a predictive methodology, right? And the other side, if we believe that it's an innovation project, the customer doesn't know exactly what they need, or we don't have the requirements up front, then we are going to choose something more agile, right, related to a Scrum, right?
And with that regards, you know, what I would like to, because this is for the audience here, this is such a broad topic as well. A few weeks ago, we were talking about the DevOps, and as we talk with DevOps, we wanted to have, you know, more of a different styles into it, like continuous integration deployment. There are several things that we were talking about, and on the project manager, there is no difference there. I mean, there is no areas that we need expertise, and there might be some areas there that you know, not all the audience knows about it, but we actually execute within, you know, technology services. Maybe what will you suggest will be our next topic really here to bring to an audience on regards, you know, what we do with project management?
Well, there are a lot of topics, right?
Well, that's a great thing, because then, you know, really can have a chain on this one.
Yes, but I truly believe that nowadays the risk management is something very important, right? I mean, over the past 2 years, the world has been changing a lot, and now your competitors are not from your country, are from around the globe, right? So you have a very, very small chance to fail on the projects. Right, and that's why the project management field is very important, but the risk management field is much more important, right? Because you will need to understand what are the risks, what are the plans that we are going to create, and it doesn't matter if you are going to work in a Scrum-based projects or predictive-based projects. It doesn't matter what kind of project you are managing, right? You will have risk everywhere. So I think that could be a good topic.
We'll bring it on, definitely. I mean, this is just the beginning of it, because it's going to take a lot. And just to closing that up then a little bit here, I know that we use a lot of technology to actually deliver our projects, right? what kind of tools do we use inside? Do we use something like Project Server? Tell us a little bit about the technology that we use within technology services for PMO.
As Ally Global, we are using Project Online to manage our portfolio and programs and the predictive projects, right? For the agile projects, we are using Azure DevOps in order to manage the project there. But it will depend on the client, right? So we are not attached to any tool in specific.
Excellent.
We have had clients that come with us and they said, okay, we have this tool and we need you to use this tool. Then we have used Jira, Asana, Smartsheets. So I think that we can use several tools. What is important for us is to have the technical concepts regarding project management, and then we are open to use more tools.
Because using that, what I will suggest for our next session is that we can bring up the tools that we have implemented in technology services. We talk about the topic and we can show some demos to our customers. Of course, we're very concerned about privacy. We don't share anything that is not to be should be there. So we are very concerned about security and all those things. But maybe we can share some of the stuff that we have inside and show our audience how do we manage this with technology. Because that is what made us up here. We're technology services. So I invite you for the next meeting for sure.
Sounds
if
like
not
a plan.
you, maybe a lot of any of your project managers. We got many
Sure.
underneath, your vertical that definitely can come out with us and give us some demos, which I really would love to see. And of course for our customers to see this as well.
Sure, awesome. Sounds like a plan.
So thank you so much, Everett. I appreciate very much your time for
Thanks to
spending
you.
it with you. No, it's a pleasure. We're definitely going to have you for our next edition of Ally Tech Talks. And for our audience, thank you for this edition of the PMO. We're going to see you next on the next Ally Tech Talks, talk about the next topic on the PMO. And just wanted to say thank you again. This is Technology Services. This is Ally Global. Thank you so much.